This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Fantasy football training camp is back at Treasure Island Resort and Casino. You can join Paul Charchian and the Fantasy Football Weekly crew Friday, August 15th in the Full Deck Ballroom, 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy elite fantasy football knowledge and your shot at a $1,000 grand prize. Full details now, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
All right, so yesterday, 9 to noon, started a Beating the Birds piece. And when we start things like this sometimes, and given how tangential God made me, and the fact that Nordo and I, we will have tentacles to conversations, and then we'll look up at the clock and be like, damn, we got a guest coming up in 5 minutes, so we better break.
We got to make it a marathon.
So some of these, the marathons would be provided by Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. Sarah and Brian rock. So check out the website, please. But like with season win totals and, overcoming stigmas and beating the birds and things like that, because yours truly can become so hyper and tangential. Sometimes these pieces become series where it's like part 2 of Beating the Birds continues now on FM 100.3 KFAN, and because that's the target at which to shoot in the NFC and also the National Football League. So I'm really believing yours truly is going to be able to pay off that Beating the Birds thing that I wrote a week and a half ago. And we're going to start it with their target at which to shoot in their division, the NFC East. And it ain't the Giants with Russ. And it's not the Dallas Cowboys with super special Jerry and Dak. It's the Washington Commanders. So if you're interested in filling the tanks and smacking the PATM to sparkle with the diamond south, or maybe roll with the turtle to the east, here they are. I like the over 9.5 on the Washington Commanders. Now, FIBA Fairness and Bid Act. This was written 2.5 weeks ago on a flight back from Colorado. So therefore, we may have had some number changes here.
It's still 9.5. It sits at minus 110 either way.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to go charge on it and shade it in any form so that it makes it difficult for us to lose, even though it's not the accurate number. 9.5 for the Washington Commanders.
Just looked that up on an NFL team's Wi-Fi. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Oh, geez. No, that's a problem. I'm just kidding. Yes, face change. We had a face change. The con. Yeah, we had a face change there. The quarterback will be even better year 2. Deebo Samuel was an excellent addition. Despite what we saw against Philly, they know how to play the Eagles in the regular season, and that's key. Now, you got to hold your nose and look past what took place in the postseason, and hey, getting past Philadelphia, winning the division, beating them in the conference title game. Maybe that won't happen, but the addition of Deebo, that helps. They beat them in Landover and lost a 1-score meat grinder against them in Philadelphia. Jaden and Quinn, the coach, they know how to play Philadelphia. So that's a major key there. You got to know how to beat and or play Philadelphia if you want to get over that 9.5. Then there's the hidden strength of this bunch, the Washington Commanders. Off-ball linebackers would include the likes of Blake Cashman or Ivan Pace Jr. here. The Gink is on fire. One of the great things about him is he plays on and or off the ball. So off-ball linebackers are very important. And for the Washington squad, those players are Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. All right. Now, when Lovu was with the Carolina Panthers, I believe, Nordo knows I fell in love with him. He was with the Panthers, right?
He's a good player.
Yeah. And I'm like, up to the game, I'm like, who is this? Holy cow, this is a demon on wheels right here.
Well, didn't they snake both Louvu and Jeremy Chin, maybe?
Yes.
From Carolina.
But it starts with them. Now, the defensive line wise with Deron Payne and Jerzon Newton. I mean, Jonathan Allen is here. because the Vikings were willing to pay him, but also because Dan Quinn is in love with second-year Illinois pass rusher Jer'Zhan Newton. So their pass rush still will start and stop a lot of it. Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu are phenomenal linebackers. And it's underrated, too, because Wagner's a million years old. He's 35 years of age. Bobby Wagner, one of my all-time favorite players in the NFL, man, during the last quarter century. Bastion of excellence. Never have to worry about him off the field. There was a time Bobby Wagner, not only would he run like a deer, but he would backpedal like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. I mean, he was the best pass-covering linebacker in the NFL. And he's still high-end, but he's not the best anymore because he's 35. Bobby Wagner, I think, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Louvu is the only player in the game. How about this? Frankie Louvu is the only player in the NFL with at least 250 tackles and 20 and a half sacks the last 3 seasons. So when you start doing things like that and they are historically sound, well, that plays into the conversation. He's the physical speed demon, and Bobby is the brains of the operation. So, with Washington, I absolutely love what they should be getting from Jaden in his second year, and defensively, I think they might be a little better than people think. I love their offense. I'm not bullish on their pass rush, but it's okay.
I didn't know they added Von Miller.
Right. Skeletal remains thereof. Surprised they didn't sign Von Miller and Keenan Allen on the same day. Love the linebackers. Don't completely trust the corners, but they'll get you 10 for sure. It's 9.5. That's the over-under. They're going to get you 10 for sure, thanks to 4 wins against the Giants and Cowboys. Okay, they're going to beat the Cowboys twice, and they're going to beat the Giants twice. Then triumphs over, say, the Packers, Dolphins, Chargers, Raiders, Seahawks, and Falcons. That's not even including one against Philadelphia they might get.
And they got the Bears at home, too.
And they got the Bears at home. So this 9.5, man, I think it's a bad number. So if you're hitting the PATM, heading south or east, don't kill the messenger if it doesn't work out the right way. But nevertheless, I think it will. With beating the Birds, yesterday we mentioned these Eagles, that they're the best overall team in the National Football League. So that's the target at which to shoot. They scored 145 postseason points last year. That's the most in the history of the National Football League. Here are a couple of Eagles predictions with the freebies they added, the free agents. Wide receiver Terrace Marshall and tight end Harrison Bryant are going to be big under-the-radar contributors. Marshall played 3 years with Carolina and last season with Las Vegas. My man never has sniffed a good team or the playoffs. I mean, he's never been to the playoffs, and this is a different organization here. A Super Bowl culture will bring out the best in him, and Terrace Marshall is quite gifted. He was the 3rd receiver for that LSU title-winning team in 2019. That year, Jamar Chase had 20 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson had 18. Terrace Marshall still hauled in 13 touchdowns and played almost as much as Chase and Justin Jefferson. So I think that those two, tight end who used to play for Cleveland, Harrison Bryant, very fast, very smart, and wide receiver Terrace Marshall, I think people will be talking about them at a certain point of the season, like, damn, didn't know they had them. Holy cow, Terrace Marshall helps. But Saquon, I mean, it's yesterday and coming up with Byron Murphy Jr. around the corner. We talk a little bit about Saquon. But I mean, every Eagles-related conversation starts or stops with "but Saquon." Until the league figures out how to stop his home run plays and handle when they do load up against Saquon, the fact that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith get over the top for big gains, it's going to be tough to beat this bunch. That free agent signing of Saquon Barkley, and then subsequently they re-signed him. Yeah, they're out of money, but they got Saquon. And it's just fascinating how people load up to stop. Like the LA Rams would be the perfect example. They played Philadelphia super tough in the postseason. Saquon still had 200 and change. He had like 470 yards and a couple of TDs in 2 against the Rams last year. So it starts and stops there. But just when you think you have Saquon all figured out, well, there's Jalen running around, and A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith are open over the top. And also for the Eagles, they overcame internal friction early second half of the season last year. That's not always the case with Philadelphia or Sirianni teams. A.J. Brown complained publicly Jalen Hurts wasn't doing a good enough job getting him the ball. And then defensive lineman Brandon Graham, who was on the injured list at the time, well, he got pissed off. So he was out for the year, but he was still on the squad. Brandon Graham basically does a press conference, goes on a bunch of radio shows. He went public basically telling, look, AJ, Jalen, shut up. All right? And they did, because that was Brandon's last chance to win a Super Bowl. So I don't know what the conversations were like behind the scenes, but when a bona fide team leader goes public telling people to shut up, what happened? They won 10 of their next 11 games, including the Super Bowl. Now, the well-respected defensive lineman, Graham, retired shortly after housing the ring. So here's the rub for the Eagles. Implosion always has an underlying tone with this bunch. We are just 2 seasons removed from them having a great record, and then they went to tripping out late in the year, finished terribly, and lost to Tampa Bay in the wild card round. So then they signed Saquon, and historical stuff started happening. And you got Cooper DeJean and Zach Bond heading into another year with more experience. Beating the Birds and stopping Saquon. That's so key if you want to get to the Super Bowl. The Vikes host the champs Sunday, October 19th, and after the Europe 2-step and a bye. We'll be right back. Byron Murphy Jr. in his 7th year from UW, Washington. He's from the University of Washington, a Scottsdale, Arizona native. Byron Murphy Jr. had 6 interceptions last year and became the first Minnesota Viking since Jimmy Hitchcock in 1998 to have at least 6. Jimmy had 7 that year and 3 interception touchdowns. Now, Byron Murphy Jr. was age 1 when Jimmy had 7 picks, including those 3 to the house for those 15-1 1998 Minnesota Vikings. Started off just checking out the historical wherewithal or lack thereof with Byron. Age 1, man. I mean, no doubt you know a lot about the 98 Vikings, right?
Like you said, I was 1 year old, so I kind of, definitely do not know, but definitely shout out to him. I know that was a big game. 3 interceptions, taking them back. That's something, that's pretty hard to do in this league, but that's definitely, something I kind of got to go back to and try to beat as well. 3 interceptions in one game and take them back to the house.
Well, you're familiar with Randy Moss.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, well, that was his rookie year.
Oh, wow.
It was his rookie year, and for Jimmy, I wasn't calling the games then, but for Jimmy, I mean, that 98 Vikings team was up 20 points like 10 minutes into the game. It's like the butter hadn't even settled in the middle of the popcorn, and that team's up 20 points. So Jimmy was able to jump routes, and he had some freelance to him because they're up 3 touchdowns. And it's like, okay, well, if it didn't work, now we're up 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
And that played into his 3 interception touchdowns he had that year. So, Do you ever do any freelancing? You ever do any freelancing out there and think about jumping routes?
Sometimes, yeah. When you're up probably 3 touchdowns, sometimes at the corner you do want to go jump some routes you think that's coming. You watch films on, but kind of in this defense you have to do your job, and that's the assignment you got to do because everyone really makes plays in this defense in our scheme. So that's kind of, but as a corner you do want to go jump routes when you're ahead of touchdowns and go make a play for sure.
How would say the game's tighter? And you implement your will over the team's will or Brian Flores' will for whatever the reason. Say you did it twice, like Flo might give you 1, but say you did it twice. What would he say?
You'll probably be on the sideline right next to him. Usually, yeah, you'll be out the game right next to him because we always talk about team ball. You know, in this defense, like I said, there's scheme for everyone. Everyone's at their best position. He puts players in a position to go make plays. So, you know, like I said, you make one mistake, it's like, okay, you got to fix that. You do it twice, you'll probably be on the sideline with Coach Flo right by him.
Hey, Byron, we were just talking about the champion Eagles, and you guys get them here off the bye. With the Eagles, does it absolutely start and stop with Saquon? And like, what do you think of that team, the Philadelphia Eagles?
I definitely think they're a great overall team, both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Obviously on the offensive side of me going against, you know, A.J. Brown, Smith, and all those guys, they got some good receivers, good threats on the outside, and obviously Saquon Barkley as one of the best backs in this league. Obviously stopping the run side of part of the defense is number one. Obviously got to get that get that job done so, you know, they can open up the pass and all that stuff. But it's a great team over there. Looking forward to that matchup. And like you said, we got Isaiah Rodgers over here, so I'm going to be asking him a lot of questions.
And we're going to talk about him momentarily with Byron Murphy Jr., fantastic corner for the Minnesota Vikings. And with training camp now, you know, KO's offense of late, but for a majority of the training camp, is down 18 and 87. So no Justin Jefferson and no TJ Hawkinson of late. And
yep.
I mean, you guys just won't let up, will you?
Oh, no.
You're just not going to let up.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Every single day, you know, in camp, it's us versus our offense. So that's our opponents right now. So every single day is a work day. You got to come, you know, and beat the offense. And that's what we come in every day as a mindset as. And obviously every day we're trying to, you know, win that battle. And obviously our offense has been doing a lot of great things, but I just feel like our defense has been, you know, stepping it up, making plays, and just been all around the ball. Everyone's getting to the ball, 11 people getting to the ball. So that just shows you what type of defense we are and how we've been playing.
You're being humble.
Yes,
because you watch all this back. We watch it live. I don't know what I'm watching. I don't know what the plays are supposed to be, but I know what the results are that I'm seeing, generally speaking. And, hey, this defense it was fantastic last year, and it's even better right now with those guys in the middle, and then, you know, some things you guys are able to do on the edge.
Yes, sir.
Without 18 and without 87. So let's be fair with this thing. But how would you respond to those, like, say if I'm chatting with somebody on the offense or somebody else around here, and they're like, well, you know, the defense in training camp kind of knows what's coming also. Is that fair? I mean, it feels like this is a fixed race. They're down 18 and 87. You got guys that night practice the other night, it was run, baby, run for the quarterbacks almost every play. They had to break the pocket every single play. And you got guys throwing balls in the ground with worm burners and stuff like that. So is that true that defensively you guys kind of know what's coming against a team without 18 and 87?
I would definitely say, yeah, when those two guys, 18 and 87, aren't out there, I would say, okay, now we got to look for the next premium player and take him out the game, which is, you know, J.A. We have a lot of guys, but J.A. is definitely one of the, you know, the guys we go into a defensive practice and be like, okay, find three, know where he is on the field, and take him out of the play and make the other ones win, because that's what we go in the game week, and, you know, we talk about that. But, yeah, I feel like, like I said, our defense, D-line, even, you know, younger guys, everyone's just stepping up right now. I feel like, yeah, we've been all, you know, just one unit, it feels like, as a defense, and we just been making plays, everyone from corner room, the young guys making room, to the younger guys on the D-line. So I feel like we just have a whole bunch of special guys, and then obviously our offense, you know, we're going to compete against them every single day and make them better as well.
All right, so with that defensive line, from Jonathan Hargrave all the way to, say, Levi Drake Rodriguez, and everybody in between, it's, you guys are so strong up the middle. Is that accurate, and how impressive is it to you?
I would definitely say 100% accurate. Obviously, when we go into defensive meeting rooms, we start off with the D-line to make sure, like I said, we stop in the run. That's the number one thing. And it just to show, like, watching it on tape is like, these guys are out here making plays. Like you said, Levi's out there making plays, and you got Red making plays, even our older guys making plays, JG's making plays every single day. So it goes from, you know, top down. But like I said, that D-line been making a statement this camp. They've been in the backfield, getting the quarterback hurry, making them make throws, you know, all those type of things. So as a DB, I'm just sitting back loving it, because I know that ball has to come out soon, quicker, you know, all those type of things. But yeah, I just been love watching our D-line go to work, because as a corner, that's very special for us.
When you recently got that new deal to stay here longer, which was fantastic and well earned with those 6 picks last year, especially.
Yes, sir.
But it's when to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yes, sir.
So I just can tell from afar, and we haven't talked about this, and you and I chat a fair amount. It's important to you. They gave me this. I played like this. I need to be better.
Exactly.
So, like, how do you go about that?
You know, at the end of the day, something I've been working for. It's a blessing at the end of the day. Thankful. Obviously, this is a place I wanted to be. You never thought of anything else, but definitely brings, you know, you got to go out there and show, you know, why you should be here and all those things. You still got to prove yourself prove to myself on, you know, I'm still think I could go do more. And that's the thing, just keeping that chip on your shoulder, staying motivated. And like I said, it's just coming to practice every day, ready to work to get better, because you got guys here like Justice Jefferson, Jordan Addison, that's going to make you go out there, you know, and put your cleats on and go to work. So all those type of things come with it, but I'm just looking forward to doing more. Obviously, I did, you know, a couple of things last year, but that's last year. You know, I got to prove myself again. Obviously, like I said, I want to go do more, get those turnovers for the defense, all those type of things we have as goals, and obviously go win a Super Bowl.
And that really is the point when people like secure people with new deals, is most people are like, okay, well, Byron did this with 6, and you know, hey, he's super tenacious, like with fumble recoveries. Let's go back to when he played for Arizona. I think it was overtime against the Raiders.
Yes, sir.
You were getting ready to play Philadelphia the next day. I'm watching the game. There's Byron Murphy Jr. wearing the Cardinal red, scoop and score, game over.
I remember that play.
Right, and you're really good against the run too. So that all had been, but they compensate you and take care of you and subsequently your lineage for what's to come, right?
Yes, sir. Definitely. You know, like I said, there's definitely way more to come. I felt like I could even be better as a player. Obviously just go out there, like I said, even making more plays on the show, but just doing the, you know, the minor things, you know, in the meeting room and the, you know, all the recovery, all that little stuff, all that process stuff that takes with you. You got to, you know, stay on top of it. And that's kind of where my head's been. Like I said, just even more focused now, and obviously on year 7 now. So I'm definitely trying to go win. That's the number one goal for me right now. No interception goals, no anything. I'm just want to go win. Obviously been to the playoffs in my career twice, been out the first round, so I just got a little bit more chip on my shoulder just to, you know, get out of that and obviously just take it to the next step with this team.
Is there a certain degree of monotony and repetitiveness, which is good? I mean, being a creature of habit and routine, I've learned over the years, is incredibly important for the highest end players. They're just dialed in, they got schedules, they connect dots, and you know, maybe people around them or stuff like that are like, oh, God, can you loosen up? Can we just like go here and go there? It's like, no, I got to follow this.
Yes, sir.
Because the results have been good. So when it comes to the monotony with like the meetings and the film, and then some days it's super hot, body's broken down, does it get like that maybe this time of the year? And if so, how do you push through it?
I would definitely say it definitely gets like that. You know, you're coming in every day, coming to camp, competing every single day. Obviously the full pads come on, a body probably get a little bit more sore and all those things. But I feel like just the process of how you take it each day is kind of, you know, what you need to find out for yourself as a young guy or someone, you know, that's trying to learn how to, you know, keep taking care of your body, all those little things. What can you find and what can you do to make sure you're on top of it so you could go to practice and show, you know, who you are? But I feel like it's a process, and you just got to go through that process with yourself and realize, like, if that's stretching, whatever you need to do before practice, meditating, all those things, that comes with it. So just get on a routine. That's going to help you kind of figure out your routine to get ready for the things you got to do.
And Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center, where Byron Murphy Jr. and I are now, that helps a lot, man. I would imagine. Like, I watched Hard Knocks last night with the Buffalo Bills. It was the first one. You know, they're at some college or whatever, and that's cool, man. It's nice, and you know, it's a nice, intimate environment. Fans really love it and everything. You know, but then they leave the field and like they're walking up 3 flights of stairs to get to a meeting room. Where I'm like, well, we got an elevator. We got this long hallway, and it's a nice training room. I mean, the facility really matters, doesn't it?
Oh, it definitely does. Obviously, when I first got here, just looking at the facility, I'm like, man, this is a big building. And then when you walk to go get some food, you're like, okay, that's a little bit of walk. So, but yeah, our building's definitely big. I would say that, but everything just outstanding in this building. So it's just a blessing to be here as well.
All right, let's wrap it up with Byron Murphy Jr. Just a few to close. Jeff Okudah. I mean, it sure is built like a high-end first-round corner. Holy cow.
Yes.
Third overall in 2020, third overall pick in 2020, got hurt and played just 10 games in his first 2 years. I kind of, even when he was with the Lions, I kind of felt bad for him from afar. What have you seen in Jeff Okudah so far?
I would definitely say a playmaker. Obviously, he's been coming out here, he's playing outside corner and just kind of, I would say, locking guys up. Like you said, he is a bigger corner. I've actually got a chance to see him while he was at Detroit playing, so I played him a couple of times. I watched his game, and just loved what he was doing. He was making plays out there like he's doing now, so I'm glad to see, the injuries do kind of, that just makes an impact of your role as a player, as all those type of things. But I feel like he's balanced. His mindset is definitely there. He's 100% in, and he's been, like I said, he's been making plays. So I'm great to be his teammate and ready to get this thing going.
What about Isaiah Rodgers?
Yeah, well, that's my guy right there, Isaiah.
Guys, he hasn't even been here that long. How's he already your guy?
That's my guy already. We played the game, all that together. But
Nudi's like, what about me?
Yeah, Nudi, he's a 2K player. We're kind of Call of Duty player, but yeah, Nudi's one of those guys that be on the game with us too. But yeah, Zay's been one of the guys since he's been here. Trying to get obviously communication down between me, him, and Jeff. Obviously that goes a long way. Just getting that connection on the field. Playing with new corners. Kind of you got to get those calls. Kind of going, feel the rhythm of the game, feel the flow of the defense, and all those things. But they've both been coming in and making plays already. So I'm excited for them as well and be a part of this journey with them.
Is Isaiah over 100 yards straight running? Is he the fastest guy on the team?
I'll probably say I'll probably say he's probably the fastest.
What about Speedy? I mean, we're not here to talk about betting to the National Football League facility, but if there's a $100 bill like right in the middle and I got to put it on somebody, I'm probably putting it on Jalen Naylor.
I think I'm going to go Zay.
Wow.
I think I'm going to go Zay.
See, but that can never happen. See, even if it's just like for fun, it can never happen because if two key players run 100 yards and something happens to somebody, like during this game, well, I lose my entrance to the side door. I don't know what would happen to you. You have guidelines, I have rules. So, it's never going to happen, but Isaiah's fast, isn't he?
No, he's fast. He's definitely fast. And obviously, watching some of his tape on the returning part of it, too, just shows how, how fast he can pick his speed up as well.
2 to go. What about J.J. McCarthy? We asked about Okudah. We asked about Isaiah Rodgers. Other side of it, what about J.J. McCarthy? What do you think about him?
Definitely love that guy. 100% confidence every single day I see out of him. Obviously, him and KO obviously do a good job because I always, see KO coaching him up after the play, just telling him things that should be there and all those type of things. And I kind of try to scoot up a little bit closer so I can hear what he's telling them. So I can get,
Are you kidding me?
just a little bit.
Well, honestly, now you're piling on. They don't have Jefferson, Hawkinson, and defense practically knows the plays. You're killing them sometimes.
I have to. I see KO next to me. I can scoot up a little bit just to see what he says to JJ. But no, definitely, just to see JJ, he definitely can make any throw. I would definitely say that. Great teammate, great leader. He's obviously been in this building working. I'm just very excited to see him go out there and play as well. But like I said, a quarterback that can make any throw, his arm power is definitely, and his decision he's been getting there. So I'm just ready, like I said, excited to see him go.
You're 27, right?
Yes, sir.
He's 22. So, exactly. I mean, just
guy.
Yeah, when you came in the league about the same age, 21, 22,
21,
right?
21, yes, sir.
Okay, well, like your first year playing corner, 21, 22, playing like 70 reps a game, how many ever games a year. That was tough, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Definitely felt like, kind of everything was kind of so fast, like the game, everything was kind of moving so fast. So once you kind of get in that spot where you kind of calm down, relax, 100% in, knowing your game plan, that's the biggest thing too, because going into a game, you're going to know exactly what, the defense is going to give him or the offense is going to give us, because that kind of breaks stuff down for you as well. But as a young guy, just obviously confidence is just going there and being you, because that's what brought you here. So that's what's going to keep you here. So just go out there, be you, and have fun with it.
Last one for Byron Murphy Jr. When the offense happens to win a play in practice, it usually is a Jordan Mason play. What's tough about him? I mean, because I've called his games, I've watched him. I know between the tackles, he's got some bulldog to him.
Yes, sir.
Game speed wise, he's faster than I thought.
Definitely, I would definitely say played him while he was in the Niners too, back in Arizona. I would definitely say he's a great back. Obviously, vision was number one. I seen out of him. Power. It does definitely have some speed to him, but definitely a power back. Hard to tackle. He's going to break tackle. So if the defense not all getting to the ball, he's probably going to make a couple guys miss. And that's what I love about his game, because, after the contact, he's getting more yards, getting that first down, all those things. Obviously, he's a good dude as well. That's my locker mate. So we'll be having fun in the locker room too, talking stuff. But yeah, he's definitely a great back. Like I said, I played him before, and just, he's here now. So we're teammates. So I'm cheering all for him. I'm ready to see him play as well.
You're fantastic. Enjoy the rest of training camp and the preseason. God bless you and your family. And thank you very much for the time. Okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
That's PA with Vikings cornerback Byron Murphy Jr. Awesome interview. And if you just jumped in, didn't get all of it, of course, downloadable and podcastable later with the free iHeartRadio app. Final segment, 9 to noon, is next.
With Mike Florio, who joined at 9:40, part of the vast and ever-expanding 9 to Noon podcasting network. If you're so inclined, following the radio show, you can podcast Mike, and we chatted about a fair amount. But one thing I left out was I wanted to get his prediction on who wins the NFC North and why. Because this is the time of the year, yours truly is getting peppered a little bit from radio stations around the country to do the we're traveling across the league, and we want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings. And joining us now is play-by-play voice Paul Allen. And it's just talking out the division like Nordo and I do and have for quite some time. I mean, is there a harder division to predict the winner than the NFC North? I mean, the LA Rams should win the West, right?
Yes.
Eagles should win the East.
Yes.
Ravens should win the AFC North.
Yeah, I think that actually would be the next most difficult division to speculate on.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, if Cincinnati can get Trey Hendrickson squared away. And,
if all things are right, the Ravens should be favored.
The Bills will win the AFC East.
Yeah, it's over. And
what about the AFC West? The Chiefs. So, blah, 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 so on and so on. NFC North. I mean, maybe we start diving into this tomorrow a little bit, but like, it's, put the passion to the side. It's real what the Lions are going through.
Yeah.
And there's a transition in the early part of the season, potentially will provide some moguls. Green Bay is going to be good. Green Bay was good last year, but should be better in certain areas. The Vikings won 14 last year. Getting to 14 this year is going to be quite difficult. But they should be good. They should be 10, 11, 12, winish good. Bears will be better, but not good enough to win the division, in my opinion. So, I mean, like, picking a winner of the NFC North is super tough, I think.
Yeah, and when you're doing those interviews, I mean, it's, the toughest thing, and we've done it with the Lions, and I just think there'll be a regression. But a regression still means we're talking about 3 double-digit win teams in this division. So
Yep.
it's you got to tip your cap, and they're there. So they're the target, of course, in this division.
Yep.
But there are myriad angles that you can go through that put either of 3 different teams on top of the North this year.
They won 15 last year, so the regression from 15 to what? It will be a regression, but how far? That's compelling. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for the good times. God bless you all and your families. Brett Blakemore, thank you for your help. Likewise for Nordo. And I'm Paul Allen. Have a wonderful day. And the program is next.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.